Hey everyone, Ken Horowitz from Sega16.com, back again with another pickup video. It's been a while since my last video, and I've gotten a few games since the last one. I went to anime game convention, comic convention, a couple of game stores, and did some purchases and trades online, and got some stuff, so I'll show you what I got. I got first Super C for the original Game Boy. Got this really cheap. This is an excellent game. Really good. I love these old school Contra titles. Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy. I had this game already, but the label was all messed up, so I wanted to upgrade. And Super Mario Land 2, which is another great game. So I'd like to thank Jerry from Neo Japan Games in Bayamon, Puerto Rico for that. I also got some Super Nintendo games. I got Rival Turf. Pretty cool beat 'em up. Not as bad as a lot of people think. Not as bad as the cover would suggest. And I got Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I know it's not the greatest Final Fantasy game by any means, but it's one I haven't played through, so kind of looking forward to that. I also got some NES titles on my last trip out to Neo Japan. First I got Arkanoid. Don't have the controller though, so if anyone has that and would like to sell or trade, please let me know. Arkista's Ring, or Arista's Ring, or whatever, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Star Tropics 2, Zorba's Revenge. I'm playing through the first Star Tropics now, and it's a really good game, so I can't wait to get into this one. I really wish this series would come back, more than through just the virtual console release or whatever. I mean, an upgrade, an update, same game, just give us, you know, I don't know, Star Tropics All-Stars, and give us better graphics. Worm, Journey to the Center of the Earth. This is actually a really good game. I'd seen it like on the shelf in a video store back in the day, but never really gave it much thought. And it was cheap, and I decided, well, what the hell, and I picked it up. And it is a really good platformer shooter hybrid. Really good game. Silkworm, port of the arcade classic. I love this game in the arcade, so we'll see if Sammy has done it any justice. NES Open, you can't go wrong with Mario Golf. And Magmax, pretty good little shooter from FCI. I also got one lone 32X game, which is Star Trek Starfleet Academy Starship Bridge Simulator, longest name for a game ever. And it's a simulator, and if you don't like simulations, you don't like Star Trek, you're probably not going to like this one. But it's actually a pretty good game, and how often do I see complete 32X games in the wild here? Never. So, I also managed to get a couple of Genesis games. Blaster Master 2. Now, yeah, I know a lot of people think that this game is bad, really bad, and it's not. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. The problem with it is that it has the Blaster Master name. If it didn't, if it were a Blaster Master clone, it'd be kind of competent. But the fact that it has the name brings expectations up a lot higher, and the problem is that it's like the developers of this game went and watched somebody play NES Blaster Master for like 10 minutes and then said, okay, we got enough to go make a sequel. And the game has no soul. It's a soulless, like, zombie Blaster Master. And it has all the mechanics of Blaster Master, but it doesn't have any of the soul of what makes Blaster Master so cool. So that's the problem with it, I think. And I also got a couple imports. I got Ball Jacks, which is a pretty weird little game that I don't fully understand yet, but it seems pretty cool to play, especially with two-player. I'm not really up to par yet on how the scoring and everything works, but it's a pretty cool game to play. And I got Sio Blade. This is one that I can't play it really because of the language barrier. Language barrier in this one's like the Berlin Wall. This game is a graphic adventure like Snatcher, space adventure, and it's entirely in Japanese, and it looks really freaking cool, but it's just way too hard to get past the language barrier, and I don't speak Japanese, so it's going to sit on the shelf until they do a translation or until somebody actually goes and does a walkthrough, or if I can find one if there's one out there. And the last Genesis game I got is a repro cart of Battlemania 2. Now, I bought this because I do intend to buy the original because I collect Sega Genesis. I got almost 400 box Genesis games, so I am going to buy the original. But in the meantime, until I can come up, save up the $300-400 that it's going for now, I want to play it on my actual Genesis. And I got this for $35 shipped. So this was something. It comes in a universal game case. Doesn't include a manual. It's just the cartridge. But in the meantime, to be able to play this in English on my Genesis is awesome. So hopefully I'll be able to come up with the cash to buy the original, because I do want the original. I want all originals in my collection. But in the meantime, this game has some excellent effects, great music. It's a wonderful game to play on the actual Genesis hardware. And the last thing I got was some Sega Master System stuff. A couple of games and a little peripheral here. F-16 Fighting Falcon, complete, pretty good game. Astro Warrior, very hard game. I mean, I think I've made it to stage 2. That's the most I've been able to do. Ghostbusters. Yeah, I know this game sucks, but back in the day, when I first came to Puerto Rico, only one video store was renting Master System games, and they had this one, and I saw the logo, and like, get Ghostbusters on my Master System. I mean, who doesn't like Ghostbusters? And I rented it, and I played it, and I really wanted to like it, but even at 15, 16 years old, you look at it and you're like, man, this plays too slow, or it's too sluggish, or he doesn't shoot the right way. You can see things aren't working the way they should. And I actually played through it and beat it. So I'm hoping I have the stomach to do that again. Reggie Jackson Baseball. If you like Tommy Lasorda Baseball on the Genesis or Sports Talk Baseball, this is where that design started. It's also one of the first examples of Sega licensing its sports games, licensing big stars for its sports games. You can read more about that in our Sega Sports article, History of, on Sega16.com. And shameless plug. And Shooting Gallery, another good light gun games. I love Sega Master light gun games, and saw a video on YouTube, and it looked pretty interesting. And I think this cost $8 shipped, and it is complete and in excellent condition. So I figured, why the hell not? All these games are complete, by the way. And the last thing I got, I normally wouldn't have gotten this because it sucks big time, but it was $5 $5 new with about $7 shipping, and that is the Sega Control Stick. I mean, look at this. This thing is new. When I mean new, I mean new. It's still in the plastic. It's got the manual, everything. It's like new old stock. And it was $5, and I thought that must be a mistake, or this guy must live in Hong Kong and shipping's like $35. $7 shipping. And I know this controller sucks because it's a lefty. And now, there's nothing bad about being a lefty, but when all controllers are made a certain way and then Sega goes and releases one that the joystick and the buttons are flipped, that can really make you go durr. So it was really, when I remember I got this controller back in the day when the Sega Master was the system I had, and it was kind of weird. You see people playing like this and stuff, and you can't even flip it, with the joystick on the right, because then when you press left you go right, when you press up you go down, the buttons are backwards, so you have to play it this way. And the sports pad does the same thing, and I have no idea why Sega did it. And I say it's bad because, not because it's a lefty controller, but because Sega never advertised it as a lefty controller, and to this day there is no official explanation as to why they swapped the buttons in the controller. I have no idea what Sega was thinking, but they probably weren't, and that's why they released the controller. Maybe they were drunk, high, and maybe let's release them backwards, I don't know. But that's what I've got, and I got a couple other things that I'll save for another video, including a pretty good console that I've been wanting for a while. So, and I didn't include in this one because I just now looked up at it and saw that I didn't include it because it's still hooked up, and I don't want to take the time to unplug it now. So I'll do that for another video. So please remember to thumbs up the video, leave your comments below, share any of your recent acquisitions, subscribe if you haven't, head over to Sega16.com and check out our reviews, interviews, and features. We got a lot of good content coming in the next couple of weeks. Head over to the forums and join the community. Like us on Facebook, and until next time, take care.